Welcome, listeners, to the Gamer Headlines Show, Gamer Headlines' weekly entertainment podcast. This is episode 49. I'm one of your co-hosts, Adnan Riaz. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, aka Venom Snake, aka Big Boss, aka 24601, Chris Cortez.
I was thinking of a Sutherland quote to say, but sadly, he hardly speaks in that game, so I wasn't like, I won't shatter this podcast into the heartless sea. It'll always be. Just falls asleep. Boss, are you awake? Boss, we gotta get less Terribles on him, cause he's sleeping.
Less terribles. The only reason I did that podcast because I was looking at the wiki page before. It's like Big Boss, aka Venom Snake, aka John, aka Naked Snake, aka. I was like, oh my fucking god! I was like,
this guy has more names than like fucking I don't know who. Jesus.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't fucking care.
Oh man, Venom, Chris. That'll be my name. I'm already a dude. But anyway, yeah, dude. Great to be back. It's nice to be back on the regular show as always. Dude, this is our... Yeah, this is 49, man. We're one episode away from our 50th, our big 5-0 next week. It's pretty crazy.
Some big changes happening after 5-0 as well, which I hope you guys enjoy as well.
Yeah, we got some
big
nice stuff planned out. I think it's going to be really cool, but anyway, we should probably... We got some meaty stuff. I always say this. I feel like Conan O'Brien at the beginning of every one of his shows where he's like, we have a great show today. But we really do have like some really meaty topics and stuff to talk about today. But as always, before we jump into everything, Adnan, since last week, my friend, my buddy, my fellow... We're both Big Boss, Adnan.
We are both Big Boss.
We are, dude. Talk nerdy to me, my friend. What's been going on since last week?
I was actually thinking of this because I actually have something now as well. I was reading Raymond Benson's Metal Gear Solid novel he wrote.
Oh, shit.
That he wrote.
I've heard of it. I've never read it, but I've heard there's some cool shit in it.
Yeah, basically he wrote Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 of the books. And it's kind of a bit more like, you know, if you want to become even more nerdy and like get into the fan fiction of it. But it's like kind of a bit more, you know, like obviously the audio tapes that are in MGS1 of those Snake when he's talking to Campbell. It's more in that as well in the box. And it's kind of really interesting how he writes it as well because obviously he's pretty much doing, you know, what Kojima did, but he has his own kind of like, you know, twist on certain things. And just the fact of more is that the fact this is a game to book, a game to novel adaptation. So it's how it's written, how it's kind of like just how he's kind of like saying things like, you know, Snake has to do this because you cut out like a huge portion. Sorry, like more in the sense like, you know, how you cut out like a huge portion of gameplay. He has to explain like Snake does this, and he's like walking around here, and it's like, oh shit, like it's so interesting just to read it. But like I really recommend like people to pick it up if you're a huge Metal Gear fan. It's so interesting to read them. Even like I think the best part is as like someone who's played it, you kind of hear the voices in your head. I also hear Liquid Snake as well, and his Sacre Bleu, so you fucking put in my head. But, do you know, honestly, you've actually ruined that for me now because every time when I was watching you play through on your channel, I even heard him was like Sacre Bleu. You even stopped at one point. You're like, listen to him carefully. And you punch him. He's like Sacre Bleu. I'm like, fuck off, Chris. I got friendship's done. I'm like, that's it.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I had heard about that book. It became very popular a few years ago when it was released because people were like, man, they add like a lot of cool stuff. Like I know the book opens with Dr. Clark, aka paramedic, like overseeing the Les Enfants Terribles project. And
no. Do it properly. Do it properly.
Les Enfants Terribles. I never liked the French.
You guys will understand that even more when you listen to the MGS spoiler cast we recorded yesterday, which was on Monday. And my God, prepare yourself because it's the spoiler cast to end all spoiler cast. I think we've been waiting ages to do.
It should be up. It should be up tomorrow. Really, yeah, it's gonna be some good stuff.
We really got into the nitty gritty of it as well. It's like, damn.
Damn. It's dumb.
Damn. Damn.
It's that good. Instead of saying damn, you say Dom.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I heard about it. That's cool, man. I mean, one day I'd like to get around. I'm very picky with my books, and I'm actually still trying to read that Star Wars Aftermath book that I spoke about a few weeks ago. I still haven't been able to read more of it than I want to. Yeah, no, dude. For me, really, honestly, I hadn't done a whole lot. I did pick up a new game actually recently that I wanted to briefly talk about. So basically, I think I mentioned this on the podcast, maybe in passing. I'm not sure, but I to save money because I really go nutso when it comes to video game buying. So to save a little bit of money, I promised my wife and I, at the beginning of the year, I will only buy 12 games this year. You know what I mean? That doesn't include gifts. Like if I get gifts and it's a game, that's different. But I will buy myself only 12 games this year. So I was very careful with what I would get. And, I had my last 5 games planned out. And one of them was Star Fox Zero for Wii U. And I don't know if you guys heard the news, but basically last week Nintendo confirmed that it's been delayed, that the game is now coming out in the first quarter of 2016. And so I'm like, oh shit, so I have an empty game slot. And I was thinking about my Wii U, and I'm like, man, with the exception of some Mario Kart DLC and some Smash Brothers DLC, I really haven't touched my Wii U at all this year. And so I know Super Mario Maker had came out on September 11th, on Friday, and I had never, I didn't buy it, I wasn't intending on buying it, but I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get myself a Wii U game. It got pretty stellar reviews. I, went to the forums and I was reading what people were saying about it, and, critically and user reviews and stuff seem pretty high. It's a really fun game, man. I bought it. I downloaded it to my Wii U. The digital version took very little time to download. It's a really, really cool game. Basically, it's split up into 3 things. It's like Little Big Planet's, play, create, share type aspect. It's like there's pre-made levels that are on the game that Nintendo's created. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many there are. I don't think it's 100. I can't remember. There's a lot though. There's a bit healthy, I think it's 60 or 80 or something like that. It's a lot of levels. And then there's you can create levels, which I haven't actually dived into too well because I'm not really into that. And also there's the what levels people have shared online, and it's kind of like Netflix. It's really interesting. You go online and you're essentially streaming these levels that people have made off the internet, and if you like it, you could download the level to your game. So you could download the level to your Wii U for free, so you could play it whenever you want to in case it gets removed or something. And you can even take apart the level and see how people did certain things. But, oh man, dude, I don't even know where to start with it. The game is just so fun. I have a smile on my face, while I'm playing it. It's such a Nintendo game. It makes you feel so good about yourself. If you're having a shitty day and you play this game, you'll be happy. You'll smile. It's definitely one of those it'll brighten up your day type things. And it has some magic to it. I don't know. It's really nice. But yeah, no, it's really fun. I've been playing. I think I finished all the Nintendo levels already. And I'm diving into a bunch of levels that people have made, and there's some really creative ones. There's this one that I think is really cool. It's there's actually a ton of these where it's an automatic level, meaning you don't press anything. You just put the controller on the floor, and the game launches Mario through this level, and it's almost like watching a roller coaster because you don't die. The whole game, the whole level's designed that you're escaping all these death traps and things, and you come out unscratched and you don't press any button at all, and it's really impressive. It's almost like when people stack up those dominoes and they have them hit each other and this big elaborate thing happens. It's kind of like one of those type of things. But yeah, dude, it's a really cool game. Definitely recommend it if you have a Wii U. I do think it should have been budget priced. I'm a little bit upset. It's a fully priced $60 game. I think it should have been a $40 game. It just seems like one of those type of games. But other than that, it's a really fun game. I'm really digging it so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wondered why, towards the end of the Wii U's lifespan, this game took so long to get out.
Yeah.
This game is built for the Wii U. It's where, as a characteristic and, kind of features and everything else about it. This is where the Wii U should thrive on, with games being out like this. Mm-hmm. It's taken them this long to kind of capitalize on it. And they kind of like, they did market it really well with it being a Nintendo World Championship. I think people kind of like got more involved in it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it though. I like how they put preset levels on it, because obviously I think some people, including myself, like if I find it hard to make one of those grand levels that some people like, you know, create with makers and everything else, and the same with Minecraft and whatever else. But it sounds like it's a real fun game. Not a system seller by any means, but fun nonetheless.
I agree with you. It's definitely, I don't consider it a system seller. I know some people might disagree, but I don't, think it is. But I really feel, dude, that like the Wii U is going to end up being one of those consoles that if you buy it, like after it's like when the NX comes out and like the Wii U is cheaper and stuff, if you buy that, you're going to have so many fucking games to play on that system. Like it's one of the, like kind of like the Sega Saturn, how like no one really bought it when it was out, but now people are buying it and they're like importing games from like Japan and stuff because it's so easy to play imports on it. I really feel that like that's how the Wii U is going to end up. It's going to be like one of those systems that, I mean, God, I can't list them all, but there's like Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Maker, supposedly this new Zelda game, the Mario Kart game, the usual games that are released on Nintendo consoles. The Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze game is great. Like, there's so many damn good games out on that console. But yeah, it's definitely one of those, like, people I think are going to wait and really get to explore it. But Mario Maker I would add to that list. It's definitely one of those things. I don't know how long the servers will be up, but hopefully they'll be up for a long time.
That'll be the big problem though, because a lot of it, like this kind of game, same with like games like Modern Nation Racing and like just any kind of system building levels thing that you have in there. People want community levels they can create. I think Hitman had it as well, where you can make like Hitman Absolution, where you can make challenges, and people would have to complete them. It gives longevity to a game, especially when you can build that kind of community and sustain it. So I think that with the Wii U servers being pretty, terrible. I think it's always confused me why Nintendo's not put more investments making online servers that are better, a bit more efficient, and, et cetera, just like kind of build what PlayStation and Microsoft have. They've kind of shown the way of like what it is to be like online connectivity most of the time.
Yeah, I think in terms of expansion, I agree they have to do it. But man, let me tell you, dude, speaking of that, like speaking of like how Nintendo's the Nintendo Network, I have never experienced any online connectivity issues with Super Mario Maker. I'm really impressed by it. Like I have never had like an issue where it takes longer to load up. I mean, and granted, it's not a whole lot of data. I mean, the Mario games are not very, like, especially since it's using like Mario Brothers 1, Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, and the new Super Mario Brothers look. Like, those aren't very graphically intensive things to load up, assets-wise. And I'm sure all the assets are in the coding of the game, so it's really just the positioning of it when it loads it up. But it's very smartly designed. And apparently there's a lot of Easter eggs in the game, and I haven't even, like, scratched the surface of them. Like, I think there's, like, 16 levels I have to unlock in a particular way that they're pre-made Nintendo levels that I don't know how to unlock them. So I need to, like, look up how the hell to do that. But yeah, it's definitely the game that keeps on giving. If you're definitely into like exploring and seeing what other people make, and if you have a Wii U, I would just say buy it because God knows you need to play something on it. But if you get a Wii U, I would say go for it. Like pick that up, make that one of your games.